Hello, it's Ada the Silent Silver Wolf of Love and Above, and I am here with this week's thought of the week. And this week's thought of the week is: do you trust your body? Simple question: do you trust your body? I'm going to get into a bit deeper with this. So this isn't just a surface level. Do you trust your body? It's just like, yeah, I can touch it. Yeah, I trust it. It's not just that. When we're ill, our body gives us telltale signs that we are not well. Sometimes I wouldn't necessarily say stop eating, but we might just eat a little bit less, or our body's just like, not hungry, don't feel well. But a lot of the time we don't listen to our bodies, so we don't know, and then later we're just like, oh yeah, my body did let me know that I wasn't well before I actually knew I wasn't well. Sometimes I have read before that runners or people who do exercise who regularly take their um, pulse, they can actually tell when something's really not right because the resting pulse rate is a little bit faster than it normally is. So when our bodies at all time is trying to heal ourselves. If there's anything wrong, our body is just like, okay, let's do what we need to do. Even if we do something as simple as pull a muscle, our body's just like, oh yeah, we need to repair ourselves now. But people, as I say, athletes and that, they can take their temperature, or not their temperature, but they can take their pulse rate, and it might be a bit more than normal, and they're like, that's a little bit strange. And then a couple of days later they actually are ill. So the body is actually dealing with the illness before there are even many more signs that there is actually something wrong. So for example, when we have the common cold or the flu, I mean, we've actually had it for a couple of days, the infection for a couple of days. We just didn't know about it until the physical symptoms come out. But sometimes, like I say, these athletes are just like, oh, temperature's a bit higher, there might be something going on. And, they hit their highest pulse rate much quicker as well because their body's trying to right itself. It always makes me laugh when you're not well and you see a doctor and they say, your blood pressure's a bit high. And I'm just like, well, that's what my body does when it isn't well. It's trying to right itself. And the blood pressure does sometimes go a little bit higher because your body is not well. Always makes me laugh when they say that there could be something wrong there with blood pressure. And I'm like, I'm ill. Kind of happens when people are ill. Your blood pressure can go up a little. So this is where I'm talking. So there's some like ideas with trusting your body. But here are other signs as well. What happens with your body when you start to feel maybe a bit burned out or maybe too stressed? There is nothing wrong with stress, actually. The best thing about stress is physical stress. The body is supposed to be physically stressed out at times, not emotionally stressed, not talking about, I've got 300 things to do, I've got to do it. I don't mean that sort of stress. I mean physical exercise stress. It's meant to be because that is how our bodies survive. We do need some exercise. It maintains our bodies. It maintains like so many different systems within our body. So our body is supposed to have this physical stress, but it can come out with emotional stress. So when we are stressed, think about how many times, there's a meme, or not a meme, there's a thing that goes around Facebook quite a lot over the last few years of, it's Friday, what we want you to do now is relax your jaw. And you're just like, that's not me. And then you start relaxing your jaw and you're just like, oh yeah, that is me. It's, put back your shoulders, relax your jaw, and then just relax. It's the weekend. And even when I'm working, I can sometimes feel, I'm just like, my jaw's clenched. am I just stressing too much, or am I being focused? Sometimes I can do that when I'm really focused and I'm trying to get my way out of doing it. But the body can sometimes, but when our body says no, it can just say no to stress, emotional stress, things that's going on in life. You feel burned out, you feel tired. The body is trying to say, no, I need to stop you now. You need to stop. You're putting too much in. And this is when the body trusts your body, because when you start to feel burned out, it's too late. The body's just like, oh no, you should have been dealing with this weeks ago or days ago or whatever. There are times in our lives when we need to deal with things, where we can't put them off. I'm not talking about deadlines, I'm just talking about generally things in life where you need to organise things and you need to do it very quickly, and you need to just put in the effort there and then. And this is why I believe in balance, because if you spend, say, 3 days, there's an emergency, you've got to deal with it, you know it's going to be over and done with in 3 days. The next 3 days after that, I'm going to practice more self-care. I'm going to practice the art of, okay, I've had to do these deadlines, but then I need to look after myself. How do I balance that out? Do I add in anything else? This is why people talk about boundaries. So here's a thought. Listen to your body more often. Listen to your body more frequently. What is it trying to tell you? It could be that you've done too much exercise, and when I say that, all of a sudden, like an old injury, it's just like, oh, I've been doing too much because I've got that. Maybe it's just like, take a step back. Maybe it's that you have done so much exercise. I can do this quite a lot when I do my arms day. I can just go for it with the weights, and the next day I'm just like, oh no, this is a little bit more. There's a little bit more than I was maybe sort of doing it, that maybe I should have done. And then the next day, and like 4 days later, and I'm still feeling it in my arms and chest, and I'm like, why did I go for higher weights? But that is a thing for me. I will not go back to my arms till they've have more recovered. There's a difference between having a slight pull and it's just like, oh, I've overdone it. So in those days, I tend to go for a walk, or I will focus on lower body. So that's just me personally. But look at your own life, listen to your body, particularly in times of stress. See what it's trying to say to you, because it will tell you. Your body will tell you what is going on, whether it needs a break, whether it needs to move. There is my thought of the week. Please think about what it is your body's trying to tell you. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel and press the little bell icon, and you will be notified every time I put a video up, which is about 4 to 5 times a week, and sometimes a sneaky 6th time. And as always, keep rocking your awesomeness.